and welcome to the channel. My name's Harry, and today I'm just going to finish the bit of work I have to do on the crawler hills, which is just a painting of them. I have to paint them, bit of grey, bit of brown and some black wash. I'm going to show you all that today, and then when that's done, I'm going to, on Friday, I'm going to go live on my own channel for part of the Slotheads crew post. Nico is busy this week, so I'll be on my own, so if you want to come and join me. And I will be doing an unboxing of the first cars I've been sent from my little slotcar crash video challenge thing, you know. So one of my good friends, Raj, has sent me some cars. And we're going to unbox them. I haven't seen what they are. I haven't got a clue. They could be 50 years old. They could be 1 year old. They could be saloons. They could be anything. Nobody knows, including me. Only Raj knows. So I'm going to unbox that live. And that's on Friday at 7 o'clock UK time, providing everything works properly. Unlike 2 weeks ago when I went out 2 hours later. Thanks to Joe. Thank you, Joe. So hopefully that'll all go well and we'll get that going. So, but today's post will be about the hills. Now, on the hills, I will then do, after the unboxing of Roger's cars, I will then do a post showing one of my RC cars, my Traxxas TRX4M Ford F-150. Little bit of a trial run I done down in the local park, just looking for places to run the car. So I'll post that, so you'll see that. And then the next post will be the actual review of the car, or cars, whatever, that Raj sent me, and some testing and some running on the big track here in the garage, even though it's a bit cold, and or maybe do some indoor stuff, we'll see. And then I will show you these hills, these mountains finished with some greens on them and some, you know, some features, and I'll show you how it all turned out. The track should be finished by then, and that'll be a pretty epic one to show you. So we have a lot coming up on the channel. But today, enjoy this. It's just some painting of those crawler hills before the final post, which will be in about a week and a half, of how it all looks. How the track should be almost, you know, 90% finished, but ready, definitely ready for racing. So lots to come up on the channel. Okay, enjoy this one. I'm painting this with my mix. That's my 50-50 mix, 50% water, 50% acrylic grey paint. So, just a simple process of just paint it on. Later on I'll use some acrylic brown to highlight some streaks or some dirty areas, some rain runs or whatever. And I'm just gonna continue painting this, and then we'll also paint the last piece in the center of the track in the slot car room. I'm doing this meanwhile watching a movie. Anyone know what the movie is? There you go. What's that movie? Okay, so that's what I'm up to. I'm just finishing the painting, or I could even say starting the painting. And it's a very simple process. So I will continue on painting this with this mix. Now I buy household acrylic paint. I don't buy specialist paint. Go into your local hardware store and just buy some big tins of acrylic paint. And then for this it's a 50-50 mix. And for the top coat it's a 6-to-1 or 5-to-1, 6-to-1 mix. So you're getting a lot out of your big tin. And then you should have plenty left for other scenic stuff you want to do. I pour it into a jar and I give it a good shake and I mix it up in a jar. That's what I do. And then the other half of the paint I would keep in the tin sealed so it stays good. So there we are, guys. That's the first part of this painting. And then I will show you what I do with the brown paint and what I do with the black wash. I'm just making a little bit of weathering here. Just some little touches where water may have run. And that's all I'm doing. Nothing too much. Nothing too much, just following the natural lines. And that's all I'm doing. And that's how I do just a little bit of weathering that can only barely be seen under the black. It might have little bits of dirt here and stuff like that. That's all I'm doing. Nothing more than that. And that's my brown mix. I'll just do a little bit of that with the brown mix. Then I go over this with the black wash next. Okay, so here's the larger hill. I'm just finished painting it. So that's the bad side. I'll cover that in cardboard when I'm finished. So just the last little bit of this wash. This is about a 6-to-1 wash. This in here. It's about a 6-to-1. Something like that. It's a very watered down mix, you can see. And that'll allow the brown underneath to show through. You can see the brown under there. And because it's a water mix, when it goes off a bit, now I need another little bit. You can see that's not as dark there. I have to stir up that paint a little bit. But it leaves a sort of brown marks where water has run down the different parts of the track. So that's that. So zoom back a little bit. So there you go. I'll have that piece ready to go for final decoration, putting on the track. So once again, painting and watching a movie. Okay. What's the movie, guys? What's the movie? I'm going to give you a quick look at how I do this. So there's my jar with my mix. I've already given it a bit of a shake around. So this is a water mix. About 6-to-1. Maybe try 5-to-1. 7-to-1. Could also depend on your original acrylic paint. If it's strong acrylic or it's a light, maybe different brands not made as good. Okay, I'll do this left-handed so you can see what I'm doing. So it's literally a wash. So you'll see it. It washes off. It's like a dirty water wash, you could say. But it actually goes really, really well. Now, people might ask, why are all your scenic, where's all the grasses? People usually use this static grass and everything on their hills. But as I told you guys before, this raceway is the Balby Mountain Raceway. And it's built in a disused quarry, which is a sort of a slaty style rock quarry, which is only found in this part of Latvia. So as I've said before, prove me wrong. You make what you like of your track. Make up your own story and enjoy your track. You don't have to follow any rules. There's no norm when it comes to modelling, unless you're going for exact. You know, if you've a fella doing British Railway steam of a certain era in a certain area, you know, people will say, no, Southern and LMS didn't serve on that station at the same time and stuff like that. But building a slotcar track, you can make your own fantasy rules up. Of course this is a fantasy track. There's no mountains in this area. We hardly have hills. It's very, very flat. So there's no such thing as the Balby Mountain Raceway. Only in my head. And that's why it's mostly a rocky area. slate quarry carved out of a mountain. That's the look I'm going for. I will put some greens onto this when it's ready. You know, where you have little bits of greens grown in between the rocks. You always find life, no matter how barren the landscape is. Well, there could be some very barren landscapes, but in general, you will always find a little bit of life. Something's trying to grow, little flowers or something. So that's what I'm up to here. And you can see that. And that'll dry out. I'll put some bits of green in some places. My power connector will be in this hole here. As I said, I'll have to try and invent some little shed or a little wooden building that will go over that. You know. So there you go, that's my fantasy. That's why it's called Baldian Mountain Raceway. And the one out in the garage is called the Borderlands Raceway. And that's because at the top of it, there's an imaginary border between us and the bordering country, where the Mountains of Doom are, which is what I have to paint on the wall in the garage. When I get the confidence to try and paint mountains, I need to practice on paper first, because I am terrible at painting. Absolutely. I need to get Lee from the UK to come over and do it for me. Hey, we're going to say, Lee, drop over for the weekend and paint me a thing on my wall.